Before we get started, as often, maybe we can start with some public service announcement. I guess today is going to be an interesting live session. We do these live sessions twice a month. Usually one of these events, we do listing critics. Everybody comes and drop a link in the chat and we look at the listings. And the other time we try to focus on the topic. And today we are going to focus on the topic of mockups and listing images. And we have a special guest for this, Vikash, who joined us. He's the founder of BulkMockup, and I'm sure he's going to tell us more about who he is and what he's working on top of showing us how to make better workflows for creating listing images for listings. This session is recorded and will be published on our YouTube channel. I guess this is kind of it. We can get started. What do you think?
Yeah, thank you,
I think we
Cyril.
can get started, yeah.
Yeah,
All right,
Cyril, for the
Vikash, the
introduction.
floor is yours.
Yeah, can you all hear me?
We can hear you.
Yeah, thank you, Cyril, for the introduction. Hello, everyone. I'm Vikash, and I'm the founder of BulkMockup. So BulkMockup is an utility tool that helps sellers like you, automate mockup process. So today, what I'm going to talk about is, not only how to automate processes, but also what should be a thought behind when creating a listing. So I have prepared some slides for you all to go through. Let me pull up my screen. So I prepared this presentation keeping in mind someone who sells t-shirt, but the psychology or the thought behind is applicable in all niches. So what I tend to see on my customers and generally on sellers that make common mistakes are first is design inconsistency. So I see, people create mockups. They use a digital file, and some of the images, the mockup is flowing from the top. On some, it's very small. I mean, it's inconsistent across all your listing images. This I created it myself, but this I pulled from a Etsy store. And if you can look at the design on this model and over here is very different, and kinds of it breaks the trust when someone clicks on your listing and goes through your images. I mean, they are not sure what kind of print they'll get. The next biggest flaw is using fake looking products. So if I open this up image, you can see the design, you can see the t-shirt, but it clearly looks that the design is kind of overlaid on the t-shirt. It does not belong here, right? I'll walk you through all the mistakes that I have noted down. And this is not thinking of your target market. Like if you're selling for grandparents and using a very young male model, the cool grandpa, and if you look at his physique, he does not look like a grandpa, right? This is another common mistake. You see the design is clearly a red rabbit here, but again, using the same design on a red t-shirt, which does not go very well.
Yeah.
And then this, I think people already know, but kind of, you're selling a design, but look at the design. It's not visible on your listing images. And these are, images that I have pulled from live Etsy listings. So people often make this mistake where, what you're trying to sell, it's not visible on your storefront. And the biggest of all is, if you're into mockups, you go and buy mockup bundles without putting any strategy and just holding off that you might use it sometime, or it looks good, it's a great price, just purchase it and hold it on your computer. But yeah,
I am guilty of that.
Sorry.
I am guilty of that. I think I have like 300 gigs of mockup folder.
So the question comes like, what is a good listing look like? So I believe, I got a hand on what Neha and Cyril prepared, the listing image guidelines. So that is a kind of a very good checklist to follow how you should be planning your images. So I'll show you a few examples, what a good listing images looks like, and maybe Cyril or Neha can comment on that. Uh, So this, from what I believe is a good listing images. Uh, Clearly, if you look at the thumbnail, it clearly shows up the design very clearly. Plus, it had some call out like fast shipping, more tea colors. The next element on this is a visual video, and kind of it gives answers the objection like, what fit would fit my physique. Next, same model image, but clearly mentioned that the color of the t-shirt is blossom. High print quality mentioned. Similar image,
I
same
can tell
t-shirt, but
these are Canva mockups.
whatever. I mean, what
I know.
I mean to yeah, yeah. I mean, they are depicting what they are selling very clearly, and it's
That is true.
very,
That is true. Yeah.
yeah. And then the obvious is the size chart, very clearly mentioned. Also the brand of the t-shirt, and the color options, the instructions, the size guide, and I think it's love it guarantee. So, I mean, all the t-shirt that I have scrolled through in past couple of days, this was the best listings that I
Yeah.
saw. But with the guide that Listadum has shared, I think you could create much better images with that. So, think of it like this. Your thumbnail must grab the attention, because someone who is making a purchase, they are going through a journey, and the journey starts with a search. So imagine if I want to buy a shirt for my mom. So mom shirt gift. I'll search in the first interaction with me from Etsy is on the search bar, and then every listing out there is competing to get a click. So your thumbnail images must grab that click. And once you
Yeah.
know,
I also
yeah,
like that in that thumbnail, it's saying there's more color. So like asking people to scroll more through the images. I feel people only go through like first 2, 3 images.
I mean, exactly. Plus, I
Yeah.
also see people are not making use of videos as well. So if you
Yeah.
look, I mean, when I'm scrolling, I'm hovering my mouse and we can see a video. So even if your thumbnail images fails to grab a click, maybe your video can help me, intrigue and catch the attention.
I have a video guide that reminds me.
Right. So yeah, let me go back to the slide. And this is one thing that I noticed recently. So I have this opened up. So I was doing some research. These are two different listings of a similar design. I mean, they rank for this green daisy floral phone case. And I want to show you something. I mean, they use pretty good mockups. So if you look, I mean, the design is almost similar. Green
Yeah.
daisy, very beautiful mockups. Lifestyle, she's speaking on the phone. Lifestyle shot. Mhm. I'm not sure why it's loading too slow. But yeah, basic, very beautiful mockups. But if you look at the one that is getting sales,
This is the
they
one.
have a, yeah, this is the one that has around,
Yeah.
2000 sales. This is a video. And if you look at it, it's clearly calling out all the features and benefits.
Yeah. It makes it look very professional.
I mean, they are inspired from Amazon listing. I mean, Amazon sellers spend a lot of money into optimizing their listing images.
Yeah,
kind
it's
of,
also white background, so that is true. They might be using this for Amazon also.
yeah, and kind of
Oh wow,
the
their
point,
video. Let's see
I mean,
their video.
they've invested a lot of money into this. I mean, this
It
is kind
does
of a
look
custom
like.
made video. And if you are starting a phone case business and you're competing with this people, you have to beat them on the listing design. You cannot just put in pretty good mockups and
That
then
is true.
expect a sale.
I feel like the days of just putting something out there and expecting to get a lot of sales is just over. Like,
You have to be best on the market to compete with them. I mean,
yeah,
anyone who's in the top of the business, you have to beat them, and you have to do better than them, and listing your design, the pricing, the product quality, everything. I mean, you must also understand that Etsy is a comparison shopping space where someone searches a product, they buy, but they also look for other products in the same niche. Imagine if I'm
yeah,
browsing this, I'm already being suggested different variations. So I'm a
yeah.
click away to move to your competitor. And if
And
he,
then in this case, yeah, whoever has the better thumbnail wins.
better thumbnail, but also once I click on your
Yeah,
product
true.
image, I have certain questions about this quality of the phone case.
Yeah,
And if you do not address them by addressing objections, I may, I have a doubt and I'll move to something, I mean, a different listing. So it clearly mentions scratch resistant surface, sturdy design, and this exactly depicts, shock resistant. So I'm
yeah.
sold to these images.
I
So
mean, this is
yeah,
like, yeah, exactly whatever I'm looking for is here. All my questions are answered. They are neat, professional.
exactly.
Especially, I feel like at Etsy, people are copying other people all the time. So you don't know what seller you can trust anymore. Right?
That's true. This Boho case studio is quite old, selling it for 9 years,
Yeah.
10,000 sales, 2,000 reviews, and this particular listing is a year old. I think
Yeah. People just
four.
find like, oh, this one is selling, so I should sell this. And then I'm going to make so many sales from that. That's just not the case.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to kind of see what are the top trending products or selling product, but you have to be better to make a
You
sale.
have to be.
Yeah. So that is what a good listings look like. I think. I think Neha, you have shared the listing guide with everyone. I mean, they have access
Yeah.
to it.
Did we send that email, Cyril? We were writing it yesterday.
The email has not
Yeah.
been sent yet, but I added it in the chat. There is a direct link to our listing image playbook that we've been talking about over the past sessions. And what you are talking about, Vikash, is exactly what we usually talk about. It's just
Yes.
you are going to put only 5 to 10 lifestyle images of your product. Sure, the listing looks good, but it does not answer any question people may have. It's not going to convert as well. And the listing that end up being on page one and at the top of page one are the listing that converts the best, not the ones that look the best. And
Exactly.
very important to do that.
Yeah. So whenever you're planning a listing, I mean, whenever you are trying to create a new listing, you should always plan it and have it pinpoint how many images you want to display and what are those images will look like. So, to plan your listing, I follow this simple approach, kind of, whatever you're trying to sell, in this case, a mom club. So I'll go in Etsy and search for the keyword that you're trying to compete with. So mom t-shirt gift. So right now I'm hunting for inspiration. So I'll scroll through this and whatever grabs my attention, I'll just stop there, take a screenshot. Maybe this dog mama kind of grabs my attention. So I'll take a screenshot and then I use Notion for all my, note taking, but you can paste it anywhere you want.
You can use Listadum idea board.
Yeah. So kind of, do this exercise maybe 2 3 times, and once you start, I mean, once you have enough inspiration, you'll start seeing patterns on the thumbnail images, what colors were used, what grabbed your attention. So no, these
I
three, if you
think
look.
like, yeah, I think for me, whenever
Mhm.
I'm doing this, people have to probably detach their research in like research for design only and then research for good listings. First, they need to
Right.
look at like, hey, these are the best sellers. When I make my whiteboard, I make it in Canva. I was like, okay, this is very, very good listing. I love the structure. I'm going to paste all their 10, 12 images. I'm like, this is my idea of what my information can look like. And then I'll do that for all the top, you know, things that grab my attention. Then I also have a section just for all thumbnails. Like these are thumbnails ideas. You can launch 5 to 6
Exactly.
A/B tests with same listing with different thumbnails.
Exactly. That's the, process that you must follow. And one more tip that I follow is, when you design something, you're very much obsessed with that. So I follow a 2 day break, kind of, once you do a research for a design, do that. But once you are moving away from that task to something else, like designing a listing, I would take a 2 day break and then go with a fresh mind to look for other inspiration. Else I have this kind of, obsession or bias towards what I have been already seeing. So
Yeah.
just to take a break and, start fresh.
Hi, Linda.
So I mean, I just did for the thumbnails, but you can just open any of the listings and see what other images they are using, whatever you like, some of them may feel like AI, you can skip them.
A lot of them
So
are AI these days. It's just ridiculous.
right, but they might be converting, I guess.
They might be, yes. I think it really, I feel like design itself needs its
Right.
own session.
So kind of it's using the same, listing that what I saw. I mean, what I demonstrated in the first place. So similar approach.
Yeah.
So once you have, I mean, just list down like, I need a thumbnail, I need a size chart. So be prepared with how many images you need. So once you have this list clear, you move on to, hunting good mockup templates, not bundles. If all your inspiration galleries fits into a bundle, you can go ahead and purchase a bundle. But I will highly recommend that, invest some time and money on purchasing very good mockup template, because this is the investment that will, come back to you in terms of sales. So for t-shirt, I'm not sure what is a good mockup store, but for all the other products I use this one, styled product mockups. Mhm. I cannot find the store, but I'll share it in the chat maybe. No, I cannot find the store link, but kind of they have pretty good mockups for tumblers, jewelries, and all those non-apparel products. So once you purchase the template, there's another thing that I would like to speak about is smart object. So many of you have heard of this term smart object template or Photoshop template. So I'll just walk you through what smart object is, and then you can decide if you want to go this route and get a template that is smart object based. So let me pull out Photoshop, and do not worry if you do not have Photoshop. A smart object template also work with Photopea and Affinity. So those are free programs, and smart object work there as well. So many of you would have worked with, yeah. So many of you would have worked with Canva mockup, and kind of, this is a mug mockup, and it has a smart object layer. So smart object are kind of a building blocks of a mockup template, and why they are very big in the mockup space is because they tend to give a realistic look wrapping to the template and add realism to it. What I mean, if you look at this mug, you can see the design is being perfectly wrapped around the mug, right? Now, if I want to add a design to it, uh, if you're familiar with Canva, all you have to do is, takes this design, position this, and then try to wrap it around. Canva does not have the wrap feature, but tools like Shopify, uh, Photoshop, Illustrator, or Kittle might have this wrapping feature. And this is a manual task and very tedious, and kind of it requires skill. However, the benefit of using a smart object is I open this template. Open the smart object layer, add the same design here, save it, and kind of it perfectly wraps around the mug. So this is the advantage of using a smart object mockup template. Those are ready-made Photoshop files that very good Photoshop people or Photoshop artist creates them so that they represent realism on the mug or maybe on the t-shirt that will show you, shadows, highlight, and then following the curves or folds of the t-shirt. So these are smart object layers, and this is the basic how it works. And you can operate the smart object templates on Photopea, Affinity, and Photoshop. So if you're looking for no template that are realistic, have realistic realism in the sense of warping, shadow, highlights, smart object templates are the one to go with. Yeah. So if you look on Etsy, if you can just type in t-shirt mockup and just type in smart object. So people will clearly mention that this is a smart object template or not. This, I believe, is a smart object template. This clearly shows Canva. So once you have your template, first decide like you want to go with Canva mockups or you want to invest on smart object and learn this smart object workflow. And then for t-shirt, let me show you a demonstration. Now this is a smart object template. And if you look at it, if you have tried using these kind of mockups on Canva, you'll see that the text or the designs are not very clear. But if I edit this with our design, just drag and drop it, turn this off, save it. You'll see, all the folds and the shadow highlights are being perfectly followed on this design. So does anyone have any questions on smart object?
I guess somebody has a question about jewelry category. They want to include jewelry. I don't know, like jewelry is a tough one. I feel like for print on demand products, there are mockups.
Yes, there are smart object mockups. This platform called Shine On, I think, right?
Yeah.
And Shine On.
Printify also has some jewelry.
I might have some jewelry mockup, but that's on my hard disk. These are PNGs, but those are certainly there. I mean, you can send me
Yeah.
the products that you sell. I'll try to find some and give you those smart object templates, because I have it on my hard disk. It was a pendant with a circular face, and you could engrave and sell customized jewelry. So I had worked both with those PST templates, and kind of those engravings look very real on a Photoshop or a smart object based templates. Okay.
It's amazing that you have engraving mockups. I feel like engraving and embroidery are very popular products,
Okay.
but
So
there are very few mockups for that.
hey Tracy, thank you for joining in. I was having a chat with Tracy today. So that's our smart object basics and some example, and then I'll jump into some demonstration. So I think there's one Canva feature. I'm not sure any of you are aware of it. Have you created mockups in batches in Canva using the bulk create feature? So this will be very interesting. Let me share my screen. I did a YouTube tutorial recently on my channel. So how does this work is, I might have that file. Let me. Okay. Yeah, this is it. So what you do is, create a new Canva design, and let me do it from scratch. And that I have added multiple pages. So next, what you're going to do is, create a frame element that we would like to replace with the designs. So go to elements, type in frame, pick up the rectangular frame, resize this. There are multiples. Yeah. Resize this and position is as the maximum print area on your t-shirt. And also go ahead and change the transparency a bit so that the design does not feel like it's overlaid. That is the benefit of using a smart object template. We do not have to worry about realism here. I'll copy this, go to the other slides, add it. So adjust as per your wish. Next, you want to go is, I'll name this. Next, we'll go to the home. And then create a Canva sheet. So Canva sheet is similar to Google Sheet or Excel, but embedded within Canva. And this is a new feature that has been released. Now, what you can do is on the column A, type in design. And then over here, we'll add all our designs into a layers. So go to uploads. I might have some designs, but yeah, you can, yeah, these are the designs. So I'll drag, place, sorry.
Well, it's precision work, yeah.
Yes, kind of. But yeah, you can have a workflow for this. I mean, you'll be amazed how powerful this is. Once you're done, select this layer group, I mean, this column, go to actions and select bulk create. Then set up your data. So we have already selected A1 to A11, which has all our design files. Then continue. Next, select your design that we just created, the template that we created. So we had this Listadum demo. Click on this. Now connect data to your template. So initially we added frames. Now we want to connect that frame with the designs that we have in this sheet. So click on this connect data, and then design is the layer name that, sorry, this column name that we gave in sheet. So connect it, go to the next one, connect data, design, click. Now the magic is just click on create 10 designs. Just wait and watch. So it will take the design and apply it across all the 5 t-shirts, and it's done like moments. So if I open this, so this design is applied across all the t-shirt.
So it
Likewise,
creates a
each,
new Canva file that is like pre-filled with your design, the mockup.
right? Yes.
It looks really nice. It's a few
Yeah,
too
I
many
mean, this
clicks
is,
still, but they are onto something.
yeah, I mean, kind of, you can create your template, and then whenever you have new designs to launch, you can just drag your designs and then kind of use this bulk create. So this is very handy, if you have 10, 15 designs to process. And I mean, there are two drawbacks in this, in the sense when you create your sheet, you have to go in and drag and drop each design into a new cell. So that is one drawback. The other drawback that I see is that, uh, related to t-shirts, is that whenever you put a design, you always want the designs to flow from the top of your collar. If you look at these designs, they are at the center. Though we gave this column, I mean, we gave this bounding box and we wanted a design to flow from the top, it's positioned at the center. So these are two drawbacks, but you can work around that. Now I'll show some demonstration on the bulk mockup. So I mean, we have two products. There's one Photoshop plugin that works specifically with Photoshop, and then we are also launching a web app that will work independently of Photoshop. So let me show that around. So this is the web app that I'm talking about, and all this automation that we do with bulk mockup. This works only with Photoshop smart object templates. So if you have a smart object template, uh, bulk mockup can help you automate that. So t-shirt demo. Yeah, so these are some t-shirt listings I had prepared for the demo. So what I can do is just select all of them, or maybe show you how they look. So I have color options. These are the primary. I followed the same listing that I showed you. Primary orange, primary pink, red, and then zoom shot. I'm going to select all this template and drag it and place into this load templates. So the templates are loaded. Next, upload your design artworks. So whatever designs you have, I have around 10 designs for this demo. I'll select all of them and drag it over here. So kind of, you do not have to select designs one by one. You can just drop your entire folder here. And this is configure canvas. So I mentioned, no, the drawback with Canva is that you cannot organize or align your design from the top. So you can select custom, and over here you can click on this top center. So the designs will be aligned from the top. If you are selling embroidery product, maybe you want the designs to be only on the side corner. So you can select this custom setting and then export setting. So if you look at the Canva export that we had, each design had its own Canva document. There you have to download it and then kind of organize that. With the bulk mockup, we have this setting like how do you want to organize your exported mockups. So you can select by art. So if you select by art, subfolders will be created for each of your art listing, and that could correspond to one listing. And you can also give some naming convention, how you want your exported file names to be named. Instead of PNG, let us select JPG, select the quality, and then we have 6 template, 10 artworks, total 60 mockups. Click on generate mockups, start bulk generation, give it some time, and the bulk mockup generation will start. So this is the new product that we were working on, and it's already started.
Do you need to have Photoshop installed on your computer, or is it all happening on the website?
It's happening on the web.
Cool. So you really don't need to have Photoshop. That's really nice.
Yes. So kind of you look, new designs are being applied on the same mockup. And the advantage of using smart object, if you look in my presentation, initially I mentioned, there are some common sense mistake, design inconsistency, fake looking products. These all can be, avoided if you use a smart object template from a professional seller. What I mean by professional seller is, someone who knows his trade, because when they create a template, they make sure that all the designs are consistent and look same size across all the mockup images.
This was a question I was going to ask earlier when you were showing things in Canvas. You just like added some not so smart objects. These are just
Right.
like very simple layers that are dynamic.
Right.
But for instance, when you put that on top of the fold of a t-shirt that is supposed to have some shadows and something like this, it's never going to look good, right? It's going to look okay at best.
Okay at best, yeah, absolutely. I mean, thanks for
But if you
pointing that
use a
out.
smart object that has been designed by somebody who knows what they are doing there, and they
Right.
made the wrapping properly, and they added the proper layers for shadows and things like this, it is going to look nice.
Right.
You just need to buy the right mockup or to make them yourself.
Yes, I mean, there are tutorials if you want to learn how to make yourself, but I'd better recommend, spend some amount on good mockup templates. That's worth it. And if you have a niche product, where mockups are not available, like someone mentioned jewelry, so you can go watch some tutorials and create it yourself.
How expensive is a good mockup? I know that you can find a pack of 2,000 mockup for $5, but you I don't.
It depends on your taste, actually. So no, I mean, what a good mockup looks like. I mean, for smart object mockup, I prefer this website. createc.com and then Creative Market.
I've used Creative Market a lot in the past.
Yes, I mean, they have pretty good mockups. and Create C is the kind of the mockup engine. So they are pretty expensive, $19. But if you look at the quality, they are top notch.
I agree. I also think like a lot of time people on Etsy do this mistake where they're like, let me buy this 200 PNG pack and I'll figure out how to make it work on Canva. It's just like, I don't know.
That's kind of, driving you backwards, in the sense when you purchase something
Yeah.
that big, you kind of go into that rabbit hole of spending more time and trying to figure out. So it's better you identify what you need and then look for exactly those images when you want to purchase a template. Okay, still working. So yeah, this is how it works. Kind of, it's slow
This tool
right
looks
now.
very cool.
Yes.
This tool looks very cool.
But yeah, by the time we end the talk, the download will happen. But yeah, I mean, the Photoshop plugin also works similarly, which is much faster, I would say. Let me pull that out. So it has a similar process.
Does it work with a Photoshop file with multiple artboards?
Not multiple artboards, but with multiple smart object, in the sense, if you are selling wall arts and selling art of 2 or 3, it can handle that.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I mean, don't be perplexed by all the options here. It's again following the same structure. You select your PSD template folder. Select your design folder. Mom is there. And these are different resize method. I'll not boggle down because this may be overwhelming, but we have detailed tutorials on each of the video. Again, top alignment, basic export options, folders, you want to keep it as design file, main, click on start generating. And again, it will follow the same process. It will open up the template, apply the design, and export it.
There's something satisfying when you see Windows move like this, like Photoshop opens and things is moving without you touching it. It's pretty satisfying to watch.
This is the export, and kind of, you can just walk away and let it do the work. So if you look at the, this is the Photoshop part. And because I'm running so much of application, it's kind of slowing me down. And if you look, it also organizes into subfolders. A messy bun, so a messy bun design, all the mockups of this particular design will lie here. So that is how it works. I'm open for any questions anyone has.
Well, not a question, but Tracy was talking about how working with BulkMockup really helps with things that are cylindrical, product like mugs and candles and tumbler. I think like you showed the example of a t-shirt, but like smart object, if well done, can really do all sorts of shape and form, because you can have like wrapping and proper distortions,
Absolutely.
shadow layers. So it really can create all sorts of things. Canva is very limited in that matter. Like, can you can you create basic mockup that will do part of the job with Canva? Yes, absolutely. But if you want to go to the next level, smart object is the way to go.
Absolutely. I mean, all the top sellers are using smart objects. As far as I see, no, let's see.
Any thoughts on video mockups? Can you do that as well with Photoshop and or bulk
Uh,
mockup?
yes, I mean, the answer is yes as well as no. The point with a video mockup is like it's very resource heavy. So if you have a very good computer with good RAM and space, video mockups will work, and you can automate it with bulk mockup. But the problem is that Photoshop is not a native video processor. So once you load a video mockup, there are template sellers selling video mockups, but Photoshop is not natively very good at exporting videos. So what the speed of exporting 10 video mockups could be around 30 minutes to 40 minutes.
So much slower. Is there a better? Is there an equivalent of?
I mean,
Bulk
the
mockup
equivalent.
tool for videos, like for instance, I don't know, maybe After Effects is a better tool for video, or Premiere. Like, are there templates like this where you can just drop an image and it generates a video for you?
No, I mean, for video mockups, I think better would be take an image, put it into some video LLMs like a Runaway or Kling, give them a prompt, and they will create a video for you. I think Kittle recently launched something. I mean, that is a much faster approach to kind of, instead of boggling down into Photoshop, opening the layer, exporting the video, that takes the entirety of your time.
All right. Well, this was kind of my next question after that. What do you think about AI mockups? For instance, maybe taking an image that is approximate, something that you have done quickly in Canva, and that is not perfect because the design is not positioned properly, or the wrapping is poor, or the lighting is poor, and ask AI to kind of like finalize the image for you.
I mean, AI is coming for everyone. There's no doubt about that. If you ask me how was AI mockups 6 months ago, it was not usable. Kind of people could make out that this is AI mockup. But right now, it's very hard to differentiate with the new image models coming out, Nano Banana, and then ChatGPT 2. So you have to kind of compete and accept it that AI is there. And to make your listings more organic, the video that you have, try to make it very native and very raw, because if you look at human behavior who is purchasing online, they tend to make connection with other sellers. So if you give them raw, unfiltered connection, people can easily trust you than on an AI model. So AI is going to stay. That's my take, and you have to accept it if you do not like it or not.
Yes. What you said on the other side is true when we talk about Etsy, like Etsy sellers, but also Etsy buyer are kind of worried of AI things. We do see sometimes some sellers comes to us saying like, I don't understand. I've been doing that for a few months. My shop is not selling. And you enter their shop, and it's obvious they are using AI. Like, every single image is way too processed, and it looks it looks too perfect and too like they still with AI sometimes this uncanny valley where it's not supposed to look like this. Your brain knows, and it's kind of a problem. Like, buyers don't trust things that don't look real. They need a trust signal sometimes that, and they are going to get something that's not perfect, especially on Etsy. They want to connect with real seller, real artisan, real handmade things. They don't need something that is too processed. So this is definitely a trade-off that we need to think of when we use mockups or when we use AI. Like, if it's going to look completely fake, not good.
Absolutely. I mean, there's another analogy that I used to speak whenever I get a chance. It's like, if you know the basics, you can use AI as your arsenal, and if you do not know the basics, AI will make you dumb. What I make in the sense, everybody has a camera, and making a film out of your phone camera is not possible. If you have the skills, with any camera you have, you can make a film. So what do you mean is, like, I see people go in and this is my product, do SEO tags or Etsy SEO for this product. ChatGPT gives them some text and you just copy paste it. So just following dumbly on ChatGPT recommendations is not advisable. Need to know the basics how SEO works, and then use ChatGPT on your advantage. Just blindly trusting whatever it gives you is going to make you more dumb and kind of not work for you.
Avnish, you have a question?
Yeah, I can make the jewelry, but I can't found a suitable model to wear the jewelry. So I have to use the AI only. I have to depend on AI only.
What kind of jewelry are we talking? Because earlier, Vikash, you were talking about, like, for instance, a medallion with like engraving. That's something that Mockup can help. But
Right.
if you're doing
You are
like earrings or rings, it might be.
It's the problem of AI. You are talking about it's the problem of AI. But I can make the jewelry, but I can't find the suitable model for to list the jewelry on the human. So I have to use AI for that.
I mean, AI is making your task easier, Pawnesh. But ideally, if you go into traditional e-commerce, you had to hire a model, hand over them the jewelry, do a photo shoot, and then use the listing. But with
That
AI,
is very costly affair.
sorry,
That is very costly affair.
exactly, and that is where AI is coming as a leveler. So you have to be very smart how you use AI, and kind of uh, stated clearly that it's an AI representation, but also add some realistic image of the jewelry.
I guess so Pavnesh has a very cool jewelry store and they create everything in-house, so it's not print on demand. And the biggest struggle for, other jewelry stores also is like AI will create the skill to create AI images which look authentic is an acquired skill, obviously. It looks good enough, but it looks AI generated. So how do they solve the problem of creating listing images in an efficient manner where it represents their jewelry, but also doesn't look AI? I don't know, like there's no way to create generic mockups for them because each design is different.
To be fair and honest, in my previous job, I used to run an e-commerce, image editing agency. And the news that I'm getting is, there are companies or VC funds that are heavily investing on e-commerce AI imaging models. So I completely believe there might be some tool out there that gives you images that are not AI generated. And even big players like Amazon, Myntra in India, they are using AI catalog images. So they take the product. So it's coming, and people are investing huge amount of money into those industry. So it's going to evolve, and very soon you'll have something that does not look AI.
Yeah, I think that's really true, Pavnesh. Instead of you trying to talk to ChatGPT and create something, there are AI tools hyper focused on certain product types. And it's coming.
Additionally, I would say that asking a model like ChatGPT to generate images for you is kind of almost the wrong approach. These models are very weird when they create things from scratch. So like you come from text and you ask them to create something, and they have some weird creativity and it looks AI. But like one thing that you can do is to actually use something as a base. So like find images that looks really good from out there, like what is state-of-the-art good images for e-commerce for your type of jewelry, and use that as a base. For instance, with Gemini, which is Google model, also called Nano Banana, like if you give it a template image, something that already exists, an image that looks really good, and then you give it the image of your product, and you ask it to put your product in that image, the image that you are going to get in output is going to be very good. It's going to look exactly like the original, but with your product inside. It might not be perfect, but it will be a lot better than if you start from scratch, just asking ChatGPT to do it for you. So I highly recommend this approach of like, instead of starting from scratch, make yourself a library of images that you know look really good. Make yourself the template of the listing image that you want to create, and then use that as a base to create your next images. And you will see that AI models already do a pretty good job when you do that.
And publish it will work for infographic images too.
All right,
Like
you can give your
adding
own
this
text
to
details.
we are adding this to Listadum really soon. So like we're really trying to help you create this type of like your library of inspiration. You put your product, and we help you create good images, including infographics. As Vikash has been talking about it today, and we've probably been talking about it these last 3 or 4 sessions, images is what makes or break a listing at this point. So it's just the very important thing to work on, and we are going to try and help you with more things. Vikash, I have a follow-up question regarding mockup use, and it also applies to AI use to some extent. Should one mention that the images are not 100% genuine and that they have been edited or generated in their listings? And if so, how?
Sorry, come again?
Should people mention that these images have been edited or generated? And if yes, how should people mention that to their buyers?
I mean, on the description, I mean, it's very, honest to be straightforward, because buyers and sellers on Etsy expects you to be honest and transparent. On my email, I get, once I was promoting a mockup bundle from a seller, and a customer of Bulk Mockup asked me, like, how is the images being created? Because the buyers also want to support people who are, genuine and kind of not using AI. So being transparent and honest is the best way to move forward. And right now people are on denial that, I'll not purchase anything that is AI. But this denial will kind of go away soon.
It will go away. I mean, efficiency matters more, good quality listings matter more.
So yes, be transparent. You don't have to make that the first line in your description, but add somewhere in your description that your images are not 100% true representation of the product, that they have been edited or generated for to help the buyer better understand what the product can look like. But like, be a little transparent about this, because you will be in trouble if you are not. There is a clear case path for buyers. If they think that the product does not look like what was advertised in the product, they can just ask for a refund, and you will be penalized for this eventually. So once, it's like if you are using mockup images, if you are using AI generated images, please say something.
You have to check your images if AI is distorting your stuff. You should just not launch anything.
It's kind of interesting. Every single AI tool will tell you that somewhere. For instance, I have Claude open here, and it says, Claude is AI and can make mistakes. Please double check responses. These kind of disclaimers are important, and you should definitely double check your work.
But again,
and for
AI
images, there are
replace
many
bulk
patterns.
mockups. Like AI is still create one. So creating 10, 15 listing images in one go is a huge time saver. And that's why I think people should invest in good workflows.
Absolutely.
Cyril, do you want to talk about
yes,
our new feature?
That is exactly what I wanted to do next. So in this last demonstration, Vikash showed us how to create, how many images was this? 60 images based on a few smart object PSD template and a few design. And so the combination created 60 images, maybe in 8 to 10 folders of 6 images each. This is the base of your listing. But then when you want to create your listing on Etsy, it still takes forever. And so I don't know if you've all seen this, but we just launched this new feature, and I'm going to make you a little demo because you will see it's very related to what we just talked about. So you should be seeing my screen now, and we added this new option, which is a drop-down next to create listing, where you can create listings in bulk. So bulk create listings. And the way it works is that you can either start by creating a listing from scratch or drag and drop a folder of folders that contains the images and maybe the videos of your listings. So here I have a, oh, I lost it. Bad demo, okay. So I have a folder, it's hard to show you here, but like that, that contains 3 other folders that each and themselves contain, for instance, here 9 images, 9 or 10 images in this one. And so these folders could have been generated by something like BulkMockup. And so here you can just decide to upload your folder that contains multiple folders, and it's going to automatically ask you that, automatically create the draft for these 3 listings. And so as you can see here, like the images for each of my listings have been uploaded, and you can see them in a bulk fashion. So like you can see my first listing, which was like a circle map, my second listing that is more full bleed, full page, my third listing that is an hexagon. And so these images are all being uploaded automatically. And now you are in an edition mode where you can apply, for instance, template. So I don't necessarily have a good template for this, but like, let's say that it is a digital download. And it's going to automatically apply this template information to all your listings. This was a bad template as an example. For each of the listing, you know, have all the tools that you usually have in Listadum to create said listing. So you can see your completion score. You have access, for instance, to the previews. You have access to AI helper. For the tags, you have access to the keyword explorer and your keyword list. You have access to absolutely everything, but in bulk, meaning that you can create 3, 5, 10, 20, 100 listings at the same time, just from a folder of folders of images. So this is something we just launched. Please let us know as you use it if it's useful and if you will want to see something more added. We are working hard on making this workflow easier, because what we don't want to hear is, I have hundreds of designs that are almost ready to go, but it takes too long to upload them to Etsy. No, we want you to post this thing, and we want to help you post these things.
That's just me for past 6 months.
6 months?
Awesome.
What about 2 years?
I was like, I have so many listings. I don't have time to upload them. So finally, thank you, Cyril.
No, this is awesome.
Yes. So taking it one next step after what Vika showed you, like once you have a folder that contains all these exported folders for each of your designs, well, you can easily create a listings folder.
Awesome.
And whoever is Listadum user here, like, please use the feature, test it, give us feedback. We always look for ways to improve, you know, the life of you guys.
Absolutely. All right, chat. Is there more question for Vikash here and mockups in general? We got to see what's a bad listing, a better listing. I really like you should send me the link of these 2 listings that you use at the demonstration with the phone cases. They were actually very good example of a listing that is just showing 5, 6 lifestyle images versus a listing that has more a sequence of images that are telling a story, answering people's questions. The difference between these 2 listings is night and day. And I'm sure if we could see the difference in conversion rate, like it's the one with a sequence and infographic is probably 2-3x the conversion rate of the first one. It's almost guaranteed.
I'm dropping in the link for So just to review. And there's a question from Pawnesh regarding how variations will be handled with bulk uploading.
Right. Yeah.
With bulk uploading inside Listadum, you mean?
Yeah, I guess so, yes.
Yes, that's a good question, and it really depends on your listing. The same way you will. So basically, it's like imagine you are creating a listing from scratch in Etsy or in Listadum, but instead of doing it one by one, now you can do them 10 by 10 or 20 by 20. So it is the same form. You can use variation profiles, especially if you have prices and variations that are similar between items. I highly encourage you to use variation profiles. This way you can do that. You can also create a template, and this template may already have all your variations ready, so that when you apply it, you can apply the same templates to multiple listings at the same time, and it should be very helpful. So or you can do it one by one in each of the listings you're creating and create the variations for it. So like just to show my screen a little bit again. So if I go to variations here, each of the listing appears one under the other. So I have like my test queue, etc. I think I have selected a template that is digital download, so I'm going to go with physical here. But basically, for the variation, we have either the ability to create a variation directly from here and manage the price and the quantity and SKU. So assuming that I'm trying to be lazy and to not click on too many things, but it's not working so well. So like you can manage your variation manually, or you can apply a variation profile. So for instance, let's say that I was selling mugs, then now the variations are already applied. And so you have like here 12 centimeters, 18 centimeters, and different colors that are automatically applied thanks to the variation profile. If my template add the variations already set, it will be automatically applied. So these are like 3 different ways you can manage variation when creating listings in bulk. I hope that answers the question.
Pavneet, give it a try and tell us what's confusing, what's not confusing.
Yes.
I guess I have a question from Vikas. It's a feature request.
Yeah.
Like always asking. At some point, I was telling you I started creating artboards because I like to see collection of all the mocks I have together.
Mhm.
And I was wondering, if you would ever expand the platform to artboards so that it detects each artboard as a mockup and I can just upload my design folder.
To explain a little bit, artboards in Photoshop is the idea of having one Photoshop file that contains multiple sub files. Like how does this, what does that really mean, artboards?
I mean,
I can
artboard,
show
I believe
you.
it's group of templates put together in one file.
Yeah, I can show you guys. I think I've shown it before, but say this is my wall art. These are my lifestyle images. These are my infographic images. And for me, I just update this smart object and everything else gets updated. And then I can choose which image I want to use as lifestyle or not, because certain things work with certain designs and certain things works better with other designs. That's my workflow, but it is still like one by one. I have to do it for all my designs one by one. Yeah, that's my limitation right now.
I mean, I have few customers that have this workflow. So, instead of building the feature, I ask them and help them to, go from artboard to a folder setup where each artboard is a new Photoshop file that you can use just for the automation purpose.
Yeah,
But you do not get the preview as you could see here.
Yeah.
That's the point.
The preview is really cool.
Yes, I understand. Yeah. So something that I'll keep this in account and maybe in the next version will have this.
Awesome. All right, people, do you have more questions?
This is your chance. More questions for Vikash here, or for us if you want to talk a little more about Bulk Create. Otherwise, Vikash, where can we find more about Bulk Create and you? Because I
Mockup.
dropped a bunch of links in the chat already, but I know you have a cool YouTube channel where you teach people how to work with mockups.
Yeah. So the best way to reach would be, my email. It is vikash@bulkmockup. So that's, I'll drop in here. I'm very active on my email. And if you want to learn my, tutorials, go to my YouTube channel. So I have a lot of tutorials teaching you how to do mockups, smart object automations, even Canva bulk create. So it's not that all video promotes bulk mockup. You'll kind of find very good, problem solving videos for you. And it's not
Yeah.
promoting bulk mockup, but helping you.
If anything, I remember seeing videos a few years back. It feels like where you were teaching smart object things. Like it was not at all selling bulk mockup. And I've seen your videos before knowing you, so it's it works.
I see. Yeah.
I forgot what I was going to say. Okay, sorry. Yes, as Tracy mentioned, so you also help people create mockups for their products. Is that?
Yes, I do. I mean, I have a team, and if someone is trying to, create a mockup store, as Tracy is, creating a mockup store for her candle store, we can help you with the smart object creation or anything related to, mockups. I mean, we have a team. You can hire us, and we'll jump on and create custom templates for you if you want.
So you are not looking like any other shop on Etsy. I have seen that people buy the same mockups because they are popular, and then their shop looks exactly the same. It's just.
I have a question for Vikas.
Yes, Pavnesh.
Yes.
Because I have some ring design, so I have to change the stones of each different stones on single ring. So
that is possible. That is possible. I mean, in my, like I mentioned, there was an Etsy seller back in 2017-18. What he did was he was selling on Etsy itself. He gave me images, and he wanted to change all the diamonds into ruby, emerald, all blue, green colors. And instead of photo shooting, my team was, in the back end changing the stones, and he was selling on Etsy.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, that is what I think Pavnesh is looking for, right?
Yeah.
You can connect
I think
with
that's a
me,
good
Pavnesh,
solution, Pavnesh. Yeah. Pavnesh, work with Vikash, create your listing templates that we keep talking about for you for the 100th time. And
right.
That'll be a good start.
Sure, I'll do.
Yeah, sure, Pavnesh.
All right.
Perfect.
Last chance, guys. Questions?
Anna, Sandy, Katia. I'm just calling people by name that I see in there. Any question? Any thing that you found interesting today?
Yes.
Shreyas, what's up?
You're muted, Shreyash.
Yes.
Unmute. Oh, and unmute. Cyril, you try unmuting?
I cannot unmute people. This is such a weird.
The host can't do anything.
I hope nobody can unmute people. That sounds very.
I mean, Zoom provides that option to mute and unmute.
No, the host is supposed to be able to.
What? Sounds like a very bad privacy problem.
Shreyas, you're muted. If you have a question, please ask.
You can either unmute or type it in the chat, whichever works best.
So one thing to mention, I think I forgot to mention, is that Canva also has mockup apps. So Place It, and there are some mockup that integrate well with Canva. And there's one trend going on in Etsy where mockups with shadows are there. I mean, you can actually have shadow layer on the top of your Canva listings.
Would it be similar in Photoshop, where you have like also
Not,
layers on top of the smart object?
Right. I mean, it cannot mimic smart object wrapping and distortion, but it can mimic shadows and highlights. So kind of, on Canva, you can have, I mean, the idea is to extract different layers, shadow on a top layer, highlights on the top layer, and then have a Canva PNG.
I mean, I feel very strongly about Canva mockups. No offense to people who use it, but once you go smart object way, you just don't go back.
So I sell
It's
jewelry
just so
supply
much better.
tools. Yeah, we have the question from Shreyash. I sell jewelry supply tools. Can you provide mockup for this product? So I'm not sure what supply tools are. I'll have to search for it.
Can you
But it
maybe send us the link to a listing or two of your products so that we look into it?
So if there's no, I mean, there are two ways to create mockups from scratch. One way is, you photograph blank product, take it to Photoshop, and do the editing, add the smart object. That is method one. The other method is, building an 3D model, rendering, adding textures, and then taking it to Photoshop. So both can work. For my team, we do not work with 3D models, but if you have blank photographs, we can make mock-up out of that.
Okay, I guess this is your shop chef. The one Cyril shared.
Okay, so this is literal tools. So tools to help you create jewelry. So yes, it sounds like by default, tools is not necessarily the most sexy thing, but like I'm sure there are ways to present them in a scroll stopping manner for the thumbnail and with good infographics that tell about the features and benefit and all the answers for buyers, such as like what size is it, what is the size, what are the different options available, how do I receive this thing to my home, etc.
Shreyas, I looked at your store, and from what I see, the best approach would be to find a very good photographer and Amazon listing designer. So if you search into Upwork, Fiverr, there are Amazon A+ listing designers. They'll help you elevate your listings to something that looks very professional and kind of it is converting. So that will be an investment from your end. For this tool thing, mockup is not the correct approach, I'd say.
Yeah, so on Amazon, they call that A+ listing design. This is usually this type of images that, so the main difference is that the first image, the thumbnail on Amazon is supposed to be on a white background. On Etsy, you don't really want that. Actually, you want probably something a little more organic, a little more real. But for the other image types, it's going to be very similar, and really invite you to read the image playbook that we shared earlier, because there are a lot of similarities between the inside of an Amazon listing and the inside of an Etsy listing. Kamal,
I also
can you
suggest
share your
that.
screen? No, your screen.
Yes, I
Sorry.
suggest what Vikash mentioned, like research on it, see what other sellers are doing and how they are presenting their things. So you know what your competition is.
I mean, his products are very shiny. I have sold bracelets in India, and kind of photographing them is a very challenging task. So I had to look out for a professional photographer, take my products to them to the studio, and then get it photographed. So I think Shreyas needs that, I guess. Find a good photographer, ask them to come to your place and take photographs.
Similar to Pavanesh, who is selling jewelry with stones, it is true that the light and the shininess of things is what's hard to reproduce with mockups, maybe, and maybe something that AI gets wrong. Kamal, shared his shop and is curious if we can check it. And it's a new shop, but I think it can be interesting because it looks like a lot of these product images are either mockups or AI. Probably AI. So let me.
I feel like this is a full listing critique. I don't know if it's
Not necessarily, but okay. So we are going to talk about it, but only by talking about the mockup aspect of things and the images. So if you have multiple of these designs that are made on this thing, there will be mockup template and smart object templates for this type of products, right? Like it sounds doable.
Create has some templates for this kind of products. Create.
All right. Blankets are particularly interesting for mockups because they really have like this huge warping. But yes, otherwise, very similar to the type of listings that Vikash was showing earlier. You are showing in your listing maybe 5 or 6 lifestyle images that show the product looking good, but not helping people understand what it is or what are the defining characteristics of it. So definitely some work for more image types. Right. All right. If there is another question, just drop it in the chat. Otherwise, we can wrap this. Vikash, thank you so much for coming today and share with the Listadum people how to really work with Mockup and create them in bulk. You showed so many interesting strategies. You can do it by hand. You can use it in Canva. There is the Bulk Create. There is BulkMockup as a tool, both in Photoshop and as a web app. So very interesting to see all this. I think I really appreciate it was not prepared this way, but your vision is very similar to what we've been saying to people all this time. Your images are very important, and yes, you can use mockups and create 20 lifestyle images of your product. This is not what's going to help you sell your products. People, it's important that you create a good sequence, that you answer people's questions, use infographics, and mockup do apply to infographic as well. If you are selling 20 times the same product type and they all have the same characteristic, you can create an infographic mockup file and then just drop your design into it so that it's being reused.
Thank you, Cyril and Neha, for having me. It was fun talking to all of you and showing the demonstration.
Thank you.
Yes, thanks.
This session has been recorded and will be posted on our YouTube channel. So it's youtube.com/@Listadum. And please have a look to Vikash YouTube channel as well and to his website, BulkMockup.com. This feature that you were demoing, is it in beta? Is it available?
It's in beta. I mean, people can reach out to me and I'll give them access.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Launch it. Just launch it. It's okay. It's ready.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
It looks very good already.
So.
Perfect. Well, if there is no more question, thank you very much, everybody, for attending. We will see you in our next session in 2 weeks. It will be a listing critique session where you can drop the link to your listing and we will have a look to it and tell you what we think about it. And no spoiler, but we are probably going to tell you that your images need work. No
Again.
spoiler. SEO is an important part of selling on Etsy, but it's not the most important part, because very often if you get people coming to your listings but nobody buys, it's a problem.
I think we'll also cover a few changes coming to Etsy. Not too many, but some changes coming to Etsy and some other things. So yeah, see you guys in next session.
See you next time, everybody. Bye, Vikash. Bye, everybody.
Bye.